Imagine a life where you no longer chase people, approval, or validation. A life where your peace is not disturbed by noise, nor your purpose dictated by the opinions of others. Imagine waking up not to the sound of chaos, but to the calm voice within you. A voice you once ignored because the world was too loud. We are constantly conditioned to look outward for happiness, for validation, and for a sense of self-worth. But this constant seeking is the root of suffering. We build our identities on shifting sand, on job titles, relationship status, and the fleeting praise of others. When those external pillars inevitably crumble, we are left feeling lost, anxious, and broken. The wisdom of Buddhism offers a radical yet profoundly simple path back to self, the path of inner transformation through solitude and self-reliance. This is not about isolating yourself from the world, but about insulating your inner self from the world's demands. It is the process of rebuilding your life from the inside out, using principles tested over 2,500 years. Today, we break down 12 foundational Buddhist principles designed for immediate, profound life transformation. These are the tools to rebuild yourself alone, piece by piece, into a state of unwavering peace, clarity, and emotional independence. The first principle is the embrace of solitude. Solitude is often feared because we confuse it with loneliness. Loneliness is the pain of being alone. Solitude is the glory of being alone. The Buddhist path emphasizes seclusion not as an escape from others, but as an essential entry point to the self. When you remove the endless chorus of external voices, the demands of work, the expectations of friends, the noise of social media, you finally give space for your authentic self to emerge. Solitude is the laboratory where self-awareness is cultivated and where the habit of self-reliance is forged. It teaches you that your value is intrinsic, not derived from your interactions or popularity. If you cannot find peace alone, you will never find it in the presence of others, because true peace is an internal resource. The second principle is non-attachment. This is the most crucial lesson in emotional freedom. We suffer not because we lack things, but because we cling to things, people, ideas, outcomes, and even our own past narratives. Non-attachment, or upadana, does not mean indifference. It means accepting reality as it is, without the desperate need to control it or freeze it in time. When you practice non-attachment, you stop tying your happiness to variables outside your control. You can appreciate a beautiful sunset without needing to own it, and you can love a person without demanding they fulfill your every emotional need. When you let go of the need for external validation, you stop giving others the power to dictate your mood or self-worth. This principle is the key to immediate relief from anxiety caused by future uncertainty and past regret. The third principle is the understanding of impermanence, or anicca. Everything is changing all the time. Your current struggle, your current joy, your physical body, your social status, all are in constant flux. When we try to build a permanent structure on this shifting foundation, we invite suffering. Understanding impermanence is liberating. It dissolves the fear of loss, because loss is the natural order of things, and it lessens the grip of ego, because the self that exists right now will be different tomorrow. For those rebuilding their lives, this principle is a powerful reminder that current pain is temporary and that the past does not define the potential of the future. By accepting change, you become flexible, resilient, and less afraid of starting over. The fourth principle is right view. This is the intellectual foundation of the path. Right view means seeing the world not through the lens of your desires or fears, but as it truly is, according to the Dharma. It means understanding the principle of cause and effect, or karma, and recognizing that your actions, intentions, and thoughts shape your reality. When you rebuild yourself, you must first correct your internal map. If you believe your happiness depends on external success, that is a wrong view that leads to suffering. Right view guides you to understand that true fulfillment comes from internal ethical conduct and mental clarity. It is the clarity that allows you to stop seeking solutions in the wrong places. The fifth principle is the middle way. The middle way is the path of moderation, balance, and sustainability. It avoids the extremes of indulgence and self-denial. When you are transforming your life, it is easy to fall into extreme behaviors, either demanding instant perfection or falling into crippling self-criticism. The middle way teaches that slow, steady, consistent effort is superior to bursts of unsustainable intensity. It applies to your emotional life too, avoiding extremes of elation or despair. By finding the balanced path, you create a stable internal environment where genuine, lasting change can take root without burning you out. The sixth principle is the cultivation of loving kindness, or metta. Before you can truly transform, you must establish a foundation of unconditional acceptance for yourself. Many people rebuilding their lives are haunted by self-judgment and past mistakes. Metta practice begins by extending compassion and kindness inward. It means acknowledging your flaws and imperfections without condemnation, and treating your own journey with the same patience you would offer a cherished friend. Only when you stop fighting yourself can you begin the work of transformation. This internal kindness is the fuel that sustains the difficult work of self-rebuilding. The seventh principle is right effort. Transformation is not passive. It requires focused, disciplined energy. Right effort means consciously directing your mental energy toward cultivating wholesome states and abandoning unwholesome ones. This is the principle of inner gardening. You must diligently weed out the thoughts that lead to suffering, doubt, envy, resentment, and the constant need for validation, while nourishing the seeds of peace, clarity, and self-reliance. Right effort teaches you to be proactive in managing your mental landscape, recognizing that your mind is not a passive recipient of external stimuli, but an active force you can steer toward freedom. The eighth principle is recognizing the illusion of the fixed self, or anatta. The self we desperately try to maintain and defend, the ego that craves approval and fears criticism, is not a permanent entity. It is a collection of fleeting experiences, thoughts, and perceptions. When you understand that the self is an ever-changing process, you are freed from the immense pressure of defending a fixed identity. This is particularly powerful when rebuilding, as it allows you to shed old, limiting labels and mistakes. You are not defined by who you were yesterday or by what others think you are today. This understanding provides the necessary space to construct a healthier, more fluid, and resilient identity based on present wisdom, not past conditioning. The ninth principle is the practice of mindfulness, or sati. Mindfulness is the non-judgmental awareness of the present moment. In the context of rebuilding your life, mindfulness is the essential tool for breaking the cycles of reactivity. When anxiety arises, mindfulness allows you to observe the sensation without being swept away by the narrative. When the impulse to seek external validation flares up, mindfulness allows you to pause and choose a wiser response. It grounds your transformation in reality, preventing the mind from perpetually orbiting the past or the future. By anchoring yourself in the present, you gain control over your reactions, and thus control over your inner peace. The 10th principle is generosity, or dana. While rebuilding oneself often feels like an intensely inward journey, the practice of generosity is critical for breaking the transactional mindset that fuels the need for external approval. Dana is about giving without expectation of return, be it time, attention, or resources. This principle shifts your focus from what can I get to what can I contribute. When you give freely, you dismantle the ego's craving for reciprocation and validation. True generosity cultivates a sense of internal abundance and interconnectedness, proving to yourself that your worth is not dependent on what others give back to you, but on the capacity you have to offer something of value to the world. The 11th principle is patience and endurance, or Khanti. The journey of profound transformation is not a quick fix, it is a marathon. Khanti is the capacity to endure suffering, discomfort, and the inevitable setbacks without reacting impulsively or abandoning the path. When you are rebuilding, the old habits of seeking quick external relief, whether through distractions, approval seeking, or indulgence, will resurface. Patience teaches you to sit with the discomfort of growth, trusting that the effort you are putting in will eventually bear fruit. Endurance is the quiet strength that keeps you committed to your inner work, even when the results are slow to appear, insulating your self-worth from the speed of your progress. The final 12th principle is integrity and honesty, or sila. This is the bedrock of self-trust. Integrity means aligning your actions, speech, and intentions with your deepest ethical values. When you live a life of high moral conduct, you build an unshakable inner confidence that no external criticism can dismantle. Honesty, especially radical honesty with yourself, is paramount. This means admitting where you are weak, where you have gone wrong, and where you still cling to outdated beliefs. Living with integrity ensures that the self you are rebuilding is authentic and strong, not a facade designed to impress others. When you know you are living truthfully, your need for external validation dissolves because your internal compass is true. These 12 principles are not abstract philosophies. They are practical tools for immediate life transformation. They guide you away from the chaotic reliance on external forces and toward the profound, quiet strength found within. Rebuilding yourself alone is the most courageous and rewarding journey you will ever undertake. It moves you from a state of chasing to a state of being, a state where peace is your default setting. Take the time today to reflect on which of these principles feels most challenging to you. Is it the need for approval, the fear of change, or the lack of self-compassion? Identify that one area and commit to applying the relevant principle consistently. The transformation begins not with a grand gesture, but with the next mindful breath, the next moment of honesty, and the next conscious choice to turn inward. The peace you seek is not hidden in the noise of the world, but waiting in the stillness of your breath.